Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I literally cannot see shit. I hope you're all doing really well. So, classic me, I forgot to start the vlog off before I left this morning, but I will tell you guys now what I'm up to today. I am going to be showing you guys my typical riding routine with my horse Bumble. I'm going to be schooling him today. We've changed it up recently with how I'm riding him, so there's a few differences, a few changes, and I'll just run you through how I try and get some sense out of him. Sorry, I literally cannot see anything. I can't even use this footage, can I? Let's be real. I really need to start getting more like techie with like how I film my vlogs. This is so bad. Will the visor work? Will the visor help? I don't even know what's better or what's worse, to be honest, guys. I don't know if this is slightly better or slightly worse. I'm not sure. But anyway, I really hope you enjoy this video. And if you do, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Oh, gorgeous. This absolutely stinks. Right, so we are going to today go in the school and I'm going to show you guys my riding routine with Bumble. And I'd say it has changed quite a lot recently how I'm riding him, so I might do a bit of a voiceover and just sort of like explain what I'm trying to achieve. It doesn't always work. But yeah, I'm just going to give you an honest overview of what we try and do. So I like to start my sessions off with Bumble by doing some in-hand groundwork, and as you can see here I'm using the backup method just to get him to sort of think for himself and just to sort of relax him and tell him everything's okay and he can get some treats for being a good boy. And he's been picking it up really quickly. I've probably been doing this for about 3 weeks now. And obviously when I've got enough time, I like to add it in before my sessions. And here I'm just doing sort of quite a fun trick where you teach the horse to touch the stick when he wants a treat, which is it's just a bit of fun, and Bumble really enjoys it. Bumble is naturally quite a stressy, tense horse, so trying to teach him that pressure isn't always a bad thing and that it just really sort of helps us work together as a team, as cheesy as that sounds. And when he's been a good boy and done what I want him to do, I give him a treat. And I always try and offer the treat with his neck down and out and forward. As you can see, I was having to bend over quite a lot for that, just to encourage his neck forward, because that is something that he struggles with ridden as well. He likes to draw his nose behind the vertical, so any opportunity I can to get his neck out, I go with it. And then I move on to doing some sort of in-hand leg yielding, and this really helps Bumble to give through his ribcage, again something that he really struggles with ridden. And I'm just replacing my leg aid with my hand here. I don't know why he always gets his winky out whenever we do this, it's so strange. I think it's just a relaxation thing. But yeah, that's his stiffer side to the right, as you guys can probably see there. But yeah, that's probably the most important part for me before I get on, is doing those in-hand leg yields really. Really gets him bending and using his body before I get on and ask him to do the same thing. So then it's time to get on, and I always start off by giving him a good sort of 5 minutes walk on a long rein, not asking any questions, keeping it all relaxed, all chilled. And today he actually felt extra tense. And watching videos, he never looks particularly tense from the ground, but trust me, the boy can feel rigid. The boy can be extremely tense, and I have been struggling recently with sort of trying to work with that, especially going through the winter, having the hot and cold spells that we've had. He's been extra tricky. So I've taken everything back to basics, and I'm trying a different method, so I will run you through what I have been doing with him. So I start off with a slightly longer rein, not asking too much from him in front, always trying to push the nose out and forward, like I said, with the groundwork as well. And I just start off by really trying to get my leg on him by doing some little leg yields, especially off my right leg. He's very dead to my right leg. And I had a lesson recently, my trainer said to me, Bumble is the kind of horse that bullies you. Like, he has bullied me for so long into not actually using my leg. He's always associated leg with going fast and running through the bridle, which hasn't ever really allowed me to get my leg on and get him to really use his body, like I said earlier, and bending through his rib cage and just becoming sort of laterally supple. So that's what I've been really focusing on recently, is forgetting about everything else, not worrying if it looks pretty. I know it's a bit messy here, guys, but just really trying to get my leg on. So as you can see there, I'm trying to push him from my outside leg into my inside rein, which I know is sort of a bit back to front, but he is very strong on my right rein and I have absolutely nothing in my left. So I'm just trying to push him over every opportunity I can, just moving that shoulder around and trying to get him to take that left contact a little bit more, and just trying to straighten him up a bit. So I start by doing that in the trot and the canter on, like I said, quite a loose rein. Not asking him to sit, nothing fancy like that. Literally just, can you move off this leg into this rein? Can you move off this leg into this rein? And he does resist and he gets quick, and that's what I've been struggling with, is trying to keep him on my seat. And I don't know, I think it's like the fear of me just having absolutely no control and him just completely running through the bridle. Like you can see there, he gets quite quick, but I need to just trust that it's a process and that I will hopefully come out to the other end of it with a more supple, happier horse. So after I've warmed up, I obviously give him a walk break and just let him chill out for a bit. Remind him that it's all okay and this is meant to be fun. And then I pick him back up. And again, I'm not asking him to sit. I'm keeping him in quite a forward trot and just really asking him to move off my right leg in a little shoulder in type feeling down towards the mirrors. And honestly, guys, I know this is not particularly pretty. I know it's nowhere near test ready, and I know I've given him a little bit of a flex there, but as soon as I flex him, I'm very quick to release that rein and to give him a pat and just to try and get him a little bit more supple. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have been a little bit worried to post me riding Bumble on my channel recently. I've had a few of you sort of ask why I haven't shown much of him, and this is just sort of the reason why, because it's not a finished product. It's very messy, and I haven't really wanted to open myself up to all the online haters, but I'm doing it anyway. I want to be honest with you guys and show you sort of the process and remind you that it's not always as pretty as social media can make out. So just then I was doing a little bit of traver down the long side, again just getting him off that right leg, and he was actually quite a good boy, so I give him a little long rein and a stretch just to reward him. And then it's into the canter, and it's the same feeling in the canter, pushing him out into my left rein, moving that shoulder around and just really trying to get him to give me some sort of bend. And again, he did it there, so a little long rein for him, trying to encourage that nose out, because I know he's a little bit behind the vertical. I'm fully aware of that, and I'm fully aware that that's not the aim of dressage. So any opportunity I can to reward him, I really try and push that nose out. Even if I lose the balance ever so slightly, it's just a reminder to him that that's where his neck needs to be, thinking forward all the time. And then I regather the reins and just sort of get the canter. And he's always struggled with the left canter. He can go a little bit ever so slightly full time. So I'm really pleased here that it's quite a true, strong canter, and he's actually moving really well. So again, on the circle, I'm really thinking of bringing that outside shoulder round. And a good exercise that we do at my yard is to think of, on the circle, to think of it almost as a diamond shape, and that really brings your outside shoulder round without you having to sort of haul them round with your inside rein. So yeah, a good boy, and I give him a little stretch there. And I was actually, do you know what, quite pleased looking back at the video of this trot. I think he's actually moving really well, and you can sort of see him starting to move over the back behind the saddle a little bit more. He's always been so rigid and so tense, but watching back on the video here, he is starting to look a bit looser. And as you can see, I just gave him loads of pats just to reassure him that he's being such a good boy. He's doing what I'm asking him to do. And again, I'm actually really pleased at how this trot is looking and how he's moving through his body. Like I said earlier, I'm fully aware that I'm not doing anything fancy, and really, my 13-year-old horse should be doing a little bit more than walk, trotting and cantering around the school, but I have been struggling with him, and I did actually hit quite a big wall with him not that long ago. So yeah, we are just trying this slightly different approach of trying to get into him a bit more, not worrying about the fancy movements, and just getting him to use himself in more of a correct way, not only to help with my schooling, but also to prevent him from injuring himself, and trying to get him to build up the correct muscle so that he's, he can do the job that I want him to do. So again, bringing it into the canter, as you can see, I've brought it back a little bit more in comparison to when I was starting him off. He's slightly more on his back end, still nowhere near where he needs to be for a test, but we're not thinking about that. And as you saw back there, I did give him a little flexion to the right, but very quick to give and to soften him as soon as he bends his neck to the right, because that is his stiff side. Lots of pats, keep him loose, tell him he's a very, very good horse. And then I always finish off my sessions by giving him a nice stretchy trot on the right and the left rein, and just telling him that he's an angel, that he's a very good horse. So I really hope you've enjoyed this little just chat with me, really, about how I've been riding Bumble recently and my riding routine with him. I know it's nothing fancy. I'm sorry if you guys were expecting a little bit more. I don't know how entertaining it's been, but yeah, I just want to be honest and transparent with you guys about where I am with him, and this is it. This is the reality of it. We're not doing anything crazy, but I'm hopefully going to be creating a happy, healthy horse. That's the aim. So I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time, guys.